When we look at the youth years of our lives, we think about how much time we have. This is the time where we're out and we're doing things, we're having fun. We're still young, so we don't really have that much responsibility. These are the times where we are partying, going to school, making decisions, finding opportunities, understanding oneself, learning which path we want to go on, how we want to be as a person, and how can we make change. Growing up, I hated the sound of a clock, the ticking, the constant ticking, and sitting there feeling like time was passing me by, feeling as if I was wasting the moments I've had on this earth. And as I get older and I look at people that are younger than me, or I look at me, I think about how much more life I have to live, how much more happiness, how much more joy and beauty, potential I have to bring to this earth. For those of us that have struggled with mental health, anxiety, depression, it's so easy to look at those precious and dark years and think of them as something that is so long and so worn out that you might look at a 17-year-old kid and they probably feel like they've been on this earth for 65 years. You might look at somebody that is 20 and they might feel like they've been living for eternity because of how time was spent. It's so easy to wake up one day and just see that life and years have just passed you. And then you sit there and wonder, where did it all go? Why did it fly by so fast? What did I do with that time? But as I sit here today and I look at how much time that has passed, how much life that has passed, I think about how happy I am to see the future. How even though going through obstacles and turmoil for a majority of the life that I live now, I'm happy to say that there's plenty more years down the line where I can live and be myself and experience and still not constantly dwell on what is the time that is past now. It's so easy for everyone to stay in the past. It's hard to stay in the present. And everyone's afraid of the future. It's easy to dwell on the things that you have already experienced because that's all you know. It's hard to appreciate the things that you have now because it's current. And it's easy to either dream or stay away from what you will or want to receive because the feeling of the unknown. During the times we live in now with society, pandemics, wars, we need to realize that we have now. We can no longer live with the idea of how is things going to end in 5 years? How are things going to be achieved in 10 to 20 to 25 to 50 years from now? I realized that I have to start living my life in increments because of how fast we are revolving and evolving around this earth. I have a year to focus on. What do I want to do now? What do I want to do during this time? How do I want to get there? What will it take to get there? And then once that year increment is up, I go to the next year. And then the next year after that, and the next after that. But I cannot dwell on my past or focus on what is 20 years ahead when none of us have this certainty that we will even live or have the conditions of a planet to survive on in 20 years. Not to be morbid, not to put fear in your heart, not to make you feel bad about yourself, but it's the honest truth. The way society is going and how we're going, we are destroying this planet way more than we are helping it. And so I focus on the now, how I can be the best I can be now, and how I can get back. And because I say it's important to live in your truth and live how you want to be. That doesn't mean stress over it. That doesn't mean feel as if you're running out of time. But see your present self and realize that this is the time you should be in. For me, I used to always have so many anxiety attacks, mental breakdowns, because I will always feel like I need to get something done by this age. I need to achieve or be somewhere by a certain time, a certain age, a certain frame, and that's not true. I feel like as long as you constantly work on yourself to be better each day, or as long as you constantly work on yourself to understand and to be easy, to be kind to yourself each day, you are growing as a human being. As some say, time is a social construct. But just know, don't waste it. Don't overlook what you have because you have the thought that you'll have more in the future. Understand that you have many more years and blue moons ahead of you to make new experiences, to achieve many dreams, to understand yourself, to love the people you want, and to make the difference you desire. It's hard not to be so much in your head, to live in constant fear or anxiety, but we all need to know that we have all the time we need to figure whatever we need to figure out. And just because your journey does not look like someone else's, or just because you're not moving as fast as you think you are, you have yourself, you have your heart, and the beauty of imagination for where you're going to go.